Welcome to episode 9 of the Bobby Pickles podcast. Today, I'm on location about 60 miles north of New York City, straight up I-95 to Route 8, in what some have called the armpit of Connecticut, the birthplace of the Frisbee and of the Subway restaurant chain. It's a place laden with political corruption and scandals, like when the city's mayor admitted to using cocaine while in office. P.T. Barnum was a famous resident. My folks were too, although they won't admit it. They say they're from Fairfield County. I was raised a self-hating Floridian due to my experiences here in this town. I love this fucking city. I have it tattooed on my chest. They poked fun of it on Family Guy, and the great comedian Fred Allen once referred to it when he famously said, "Everywhere outside New York City is Bridgeport, Connecticut." Welcome to the Bobby Pickles podcast.
Bobby Pickles podcast. He always says, "That's me." With that look on his face, he'll talk about anything. Tattoos, t-shirts, politics, history, and hot sauce on everything. Bobby Pickles. Pop culture, documentaries, conspiracy theories, sarcasm, and beer. It's a conversation, start listening, cause we're all here. Bobby Pickles podcast. That's me.
Pronto. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. You know, the other day, another podcast host asked me which of my interviews were the most interesting. I now know the answer to that question. Papa, thanks for being on the Bobby Pickles podcast. I really appreciate you taking time out, and I hope none of the stuff that we talk about right now comes down on anybody. First of all, I wanted to ask you, are you offended by the Pickles moniker?
No.
You're not?
If you're not, I'm not.
Okay. What do they call you?
They call me Frankie Peck.
Frankie Peck?
Yeah.
That was your nickname?
That was it.
Papa, when I was just doing the intro here, I was talking about Bridgeport. You know, Bridgeport gets a lot of flack.
Yes, it does.
What was this city like when you were coming up?
Nothing but hoodlums. Gangsters. They used to come here from Manhattan to hide out. Babyface Nelson, Machine Gun Kelly, they were all there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tell me about the clubs.
Well, let's start with the first club. I got discharged out of the Marine Corps back in the 50s, and I lived in Brooklyn, New York. And it's a buddy of mine, we call him Punchy. His uncle ran the docks, Anastasia. He got me a job at the docks. One day, after work, my friend Punchy says, "Pick, you gotta rob something." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "You gotta rob something off one of these ships because my uncle won't trust you to." I just, "Since I don't need nothing." He said, "Since when you need something to rob it? Rob it." So next day we went to work. We had some German ship and I was down. I picked up a TV and I walked out and I made sure his uncle saw it. So that took care of the guy trusting me.
Where in Brooklyn were you living?
South Brooklyn.
South Brooklyn, like Bensonhurst area and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So, like, you started hanging out in the clubs?
Yeah. All you did there, naturally, there's no secret. You shot crap, you played poker, you robbed the suckers, and that's the way it went. And, but hey, they did it right in New York.
They did?
Let me tell you, pal. If you saw these places from the outside, you'd be afraid to go in. That's how bad they look. But once you got in these joints, plush.
Wow.
Red carpet, chandeliers, bare-ass bras were running around. I tell you, it was wild. We had good times there. They did it right.
So when did you end up back in Bridgeport?
Well, things weren't going too good in Brooklyn. And I got tired of stealing off the ships because I couldn't carry all the shit. So I ended up back in my hometown, which wasn't much better. It might have been a little worse. And there was 3 or 4 different ball clubs. When I say ball clubs, they mean Gambinos, Genovese, all that bullshit. So we had everybody there. That's why everybody was killing everybody. Because we all want a piece of the pie, or a bigger piece of the pie. But it was fun,
But then, so you got into, it wasn't just that, though. Like, you had a day job, right?
I was construction, yeah.
Yeah, you worked construction, right? and all kinds of different jobs. And you worked in like New York and stuff too, right? I know you were telling us about that.
Worked in Manhattan for 20 years.
Taking the Metro North down and back up.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that story, okay? Because that's an interesting story, and it's one my mother always likes talking about. And that's they had like color-coded tickets, right, to get on the Metro, to go down and forth?
Yeah, it used to cost you $30 or $35 a month. Well, at that time, we were all broke and hungry. So one of us figured out to find out what color the next month's ticket was going to be. And we used to buy a ticket, that color. So we put it in our pocket. When we saw the guy coming by, we make believe we were sleeping. And he come, he pulled the ticket out, and he punched it. Well, we dyed that goddamn ticket so many times, it fucking fell apart. So one morning, the guy come by and pulled it out, and only the top half came out. The bottom half stayed in my pocket.
What did he say? Did he know what you were up to?
Of course he did. So when he woke me up, he said, "You have to buy a ticket." I said, "Listen, pal, if I had money to buy a fucking ticket, I wouldn't be dying each." I ain't got my money. Tomorrow I'll bring some money. He said, "Leave me the fuck alone. I'm tired."
Now, there's some like iconic places that you worked on in New York, though, right? I remember. Didn't you work in Co-op City and stuff?
Yeah, Co-op City.
World Trade Center, right?
That was my last job. 1975, I left there. And when I saw that thing fell down, I couldn't believe it. If people knew the size of the steel that was in that building, you'd never think it would come down.
Yeah.
But I guess they said the heat from all that jet fuel melted the steel.
I mean, you want to talk about some crazy conspiracy stuff right now? Do you really think that it was, though? Do you think that there is any possibility that and the government had anything to do with this?
Nah, they fucking nuts.
Because there's this one PBS there's a documentary done about Larry Silverstein. He's the leaseholder of the building or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you know how
you're gonna tell me he was broke? That's why he brought the fucking building down.
No.
Okay.
No, it's just this one particular thing that he was caught saying on there. There was building 1 and 2, right? Those are the twin towers.
North and south. Yeah.
They went down.
Right.
Right. Building 7, because there's many different buildings there. I don't know if you've worked on Building 7 or anything like that. Did you just work on the Twin Towers?
I worked on the Twin Towers. That was it.
Well, there's this Building 7 that was there also. It's a lot smaller than the other ones, and it just got a little bit of damage from fire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
However, they pulled the building. He was on this news show or whatever saying he had pulled the building on that day. Right. And somehow on that day, on 9/11, they had time to rig it up and then demolish it.
That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Don't believe that shit.
Don't believe that?
No. What you saw on TV, that's what fucking happened.
Nobody ever said pull?
No.
To talk about demolishing a building or anything?
No.
All right. Getting back to the different places that you lived, you had a little bit of a stint down in Louisiana, right? New Orleans or something like that?
Yeah. I went down and I got a job for this plastering contractor. That's how I got there in the first place. For the job. Well, it turned out to be a fucking disaster. I drove down with 2 kids from Bridgeport, who I didn't know, but my crib brother knew them. So I go down and we got to the French quarters. So they wanted to take the car to go sightseeing. So they go, they came back a few hours later. I get in the car, I'm driving to go to this plastering contractor. A cop stops us. Yeah, I laughed now. Cop stopped us, and he's got a fucking gun out, walking to the car. Starts sticking my head up. I says, "Pal, what the fuck? Put the cannon away. What's going on there?" Well, he gets up to the car. He's talking to me through the window. This other fucking cop goes in on the other side of the passenger's car, talking to this other kid, and everything seemed to be good. One of the cops says, "Listen, you were driving a little fast. It's late. It's like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Where you going?" "We're looking for a fucking hotel. I got to go to work in the morning." And while I'm talking to this cop, this other cop, after this guy said, "Okay, guys," he says, "just, drive slow." This guy hits the fucking glove compartment in the car, and he opened it, and he says, "Oh, look what we got here." So I looked. Boy, I wanted to fucking die. I see bags, bank in New Orleans. These fucking kids driving around. They kicked in some joint and they robbed all this money, but they couldn't open the safe, so they left the safe there, but they took the cash in the bags. And now, when they saw that, they both pulled out fucking guns. Right? Now, I'm trying to talk my way out of it. And I'm saying to the kids, tell these fucking cops, I had nothing to do with this shit. So the cops say, yeah, we know that story. You want one guy on the street to get the other guys out. I said, listen, that ain't no fucking story, it's the truth. But in the meantime, I got arrested, forget the truth. So we're down at a police station for about 2 hours, and some cop comes in, and he says, we got the place that you broke into, and the owner came down. It was a pharmacy. He says, and the guy opened the safe. Said, you know how much money was in the safe? So the other kid said, how much? The cop says, 16,000. So the kid says, fucking shoot me. You couldn't open the safe, 16,000. In the meantime, I got fucking diarrhea. I didn't do nothing. I'm going to go to the fucking can down south, back in...
Yeah, Louisiana. You can only imagine.
Yeah, holy Christ. So anyhow, we get locked up. I'm downstairs, and they're on the second floor. And at that time, it was segregated.
Oh, so the other two passengers that went with you were black?
Yeah. So this cop came in that was handling the case, the guy that arrested us. He wasn't a bad guy. So I told him, look, I ain't got no fucking police record. I said, you can call back in Bridgeport and find out. I ain't got no fucking record. I work every day. So he came back and he said, you're right with that other police chief in Bridgeport, and you're clean. I said, what the fuck I've been telling you? So in the meantime, these two kids are on the second floor. We go to court, us three and this cop. So when we get out of court, the cop says to us, when you go to court, when your date comes up, he says, plead not guilty, because you got the toughest fucking judge in the state on. So I'm all fucking ready to retire. So, all right, I heard him. So a few weeks later, I'm downstairs in this holding cell. They used to put us all during the day, play cards and bullshit. And I hear somebody, well, I didn't hear him, my friend, and we were playing pinochle, and this guy says, Pick, I think somebody's calling. I'm the first calling me, I'm in Louisiana. So I listened, I went to the window, hey, Pick, yeah. He says, we went to court today. I said, how'd you do? He said, we got 9 years. You got 9 years. Didn't the fucking cop tell you you're pleading not guilty? You got the maximum.
Wow.
Right? 9 fucking years. Now, you fucking guys are nuts. I ain't never pleading guilty. Are you crazy? Right.
So wait, he said plead not guilty or guilty?
Not guilty. Wait for another judge.
Okay.
Yeah, the worst judge in the fucking country, huh? And the cop knew it. At least he was nice enough to tell us. Yeah, but they didn't listen. They said, So I said, what'd you plead guilty for? I said, we want to get it started. You wanted to get it started. So anyhow, they left. They went wherever the fuck they
prison somewhere.
Yeah.
This is jail you're in. You're not in prison, right? You're at the...
It's a county jail.
County jail, yeah.
But it looks like a fucking prison.
Right.
So they left. I'm there, 4, 5, 6 months, I don't know. And if you walk down the hallway, there was cells on both sides of this hallway. You walk down, there's a window. You can see the street. People driving and broads walking around. I think it was the parish prison they call it in New Orleans.
Yeah, it's a parish, not a county, right?
Yeah, right.
That's right.
Yeah, parish prison. Anyhow, we used to have this guy walk around a couple times a day and then at night. And he used to give you ice cream or whatever you wanted.
Commissary guy.
More or less, yeah. Mm-hmm. So they used to call him a hall boy. That's what the guy was called, the hall boy. Right? So I was in, my cell was another ex-Marine there, and this guy who owned the Blue Note Inn from New Orleans. His girlfriend put him in fucking jail. Right? So we got to be good friends. couldn't get cigarettes. So he used to roll, bugle of tobacco. I couldn't fucking roll a cigarette if they wanted to shoot me. So he used to be watching me rolling a cigarette. He used to roll me one. He said, take this. By the time you roll, you said your fucking time will be up. I said, you're right. So we used to have one old man was a guard. He was a cop. He must have been there for 100 fucking years. He used to sit at the end of the hallway with a chair leaned against the door that they shout. They used to call him Captain Jim. Right? So these two guys, what do I know? I'm a rookie in this fucking joint. I don't know. So I kept telling these guys, I wish the fuck we could get street cigarettes. It's fucking bugle with tobacco sucks. Right? So one of the guys that was in my cell says, Pick, ask Captain Jack, because I heard if you give him a fin or so, he'll mail letters for your... I said, you kidding? I said, I don't want to end up doing 20 years of this fucking joint. So anyhow, out of desperation one fucking night, he was sleeping. I walked up to the bars where he was, and he says, Captain Jack, or Captain Jim, whatever the fuck his name was. So he wakes up with a start, right? And he said, yeah, boy, what do you want? So I had this $10 bill in my hand. I stuck my hand through the cell. And I says, I really appreciate it. If you come in tomorrow, you bring me a pack of Lucky Strikes. And I gave him the money. Right? And he said, what? And I got a case of fucking diarrhea right then and there. What? So what did I do now? But it wound up okay. Right? The next day he came in, bought me the cigarettes. Now, I ain't got anything I want. If you could have fit a brooch with that fucking waiter, would have brought it.
Oh, yeah? Captain Jack.
Yeah. So now, I asked this guy, Captain Jack, I said, listen, what do you got to do to be a fucking hall boy in this joint? Because he told me this kid was getting out. Right? He said, he's got to be replaced. He said, well, depends who you know and how much money you got. So I took the hint. I said, well, how much money you need? He says, $20. Like it was a lot of fucking money. I said, Cap, when this guy gets out, I said, I'll give you the $20, get me the fucking job. So he did. So he got out, and I'm in the hall boy, and I used to get all the fucking fruit. The oranges, the bananas, the ice cream. What a fucking joke. So this I took care of my friends. And the other guys, you ain't got the cash, forget about it, pal. I'll fucking eat it myself. So that went on for a long time. One of the guys in the other cell across the hall, I didn't know the guy, but I heard that he's the guy that shot some fucking mayor or governor on the fucking steps of the Capitol back then. And I remember the fucking guy did. I didn't know it was this fucking guy. Right? So this guy had a hard-on for one of the other young kids that was on my cell, because they had two holding cells at the end of the hall. One for that side, one for this side. And for some reason, I don't know why, this guy who shot the governor had a hard-on for this kid. So I go there one day, and now the guy's telling me about it. He says, you see that fucking redheaded bastard? Hey, how about it? He said, I get a chance, I'm going to cut his fucking throat. And I believe the guy. The fuck if he shot the fucking governor? He didn't do anything.
Wow.
Now what happens? I go there the next night with this bullshit I'm trying to sell or giving away. I see this guy, because every morning they used to let us out for 20 minutes to go down and eat. So this night he's telling me the same thing. So I figured this guy is fucking means it. So then I get back on my side, I'm walking up and down the hallway with all these goodies, and I see this red-headed kid. And I told him to come, so I told him, I said, hey, this fucking guy, you got a hard on with this guy? What? No, why? I just got looking to cut your fucking throat. Really? I said, yeah. I said, you better be careful. Tomorrow morning we go out. So I going down that night.
So you warned him, huh?
Oh, yeah. What the fuck? I mean, nobody get killed. What's this fucking cuckoo?
That's pretty nice of you.
Well, I had nothing better to do than that. So this night I go by this guy's cell again. No, I'm nice to him. What do you want? I didn't forget his name. What do you want? So he said, well, what do you got? I tell him an ice cream. Look at one of that. So as I went to give it to him, he had something in his hand, and he put it down. And I eyeballed it. This guy had a paper matchbook, and he had a fucking razor blade put in it, so he could hold it, and he wouldn't get cut. When I saw that, I said, this fucking guy wants to kill this fucking kid. So one day I go, and I told this kid, and the kid didn't believe me. Right? He said, I ain't gonna do that. I says, pal, he shot the fucking governor almost in his office. What do you mean you won't do it? So I went and I talked to Captain Jack. And I told Captain Jack. I says, Captain, let me tell you something. You know that redheaded fucking cell 8 or 10, whatever the fuck he was? He said, yeah. I said, well, lock the cocksucker in today. I don't want to have nothing to eat. I'll bring him something tonight to eat if he does the right thing. He didn't let the kid out. So we all got in line to go downstairs and eat, and the kid stayed there. Right? So finally, I had to tell this Captain Jack. I didn't tell him who. But he didn't want no trouble on his fucking watch, So he took care of it himself. He got the kid out of there and transferred someplace else. Right? Now, all this time, I'm getting Lucky Strike cigarettes brought to me every fucking night. Right? And I'm giving us all fucking fin a day. So we go down and eat one fucking morning. I had a cigarette I was going to light in my cell. But they called for fucking chow. So I put it on my ear. Like a stupid fuck that I was. I walked downstairs into the chow hall. And I'm walking by this fucking garbage they want you to eat. And this fucking guard comes out from behind the counter and hits my ear, and the cigarette fell on the floor. And I looked at it, I said, what the fuck? Now he's breaking my balls. Where'd you get this cigarette? I said, where'd you get it? He said, it came off your ear. My ear? Anyhow, I didn't tell the guy. He starts whacking me around. Okay? So then I figured I wasn't going to get out anyhow. I said, listen, you fucking cocksucker. You can kill me now. I ain't telling you nothing. Go fuck yourself. That's just what I told the guy. And naturally, I got whacked around again. I didn't give a fuck. So he threw me in a hole for 3-4 days. And this Captain Jack, whoever the fuck his name was, he gets me out. And I stayed out. I was in this fucking place probably 6 months. For nothing. I didn't fucking do nothing.
Well, what the hell? When did you go in front of the judge and they finally released you and stuff?
They didn't.
They didn't?
No. Let me get to that part of the fucking story.
Okay.
This cop that arrested us comes in one day, months later, and he said, I'm going to try and get you out of here. He said, but you got to get an attorney. I got to get an attorney. Does the guy take up fucking IOUs? An attorney. And yeah, who the fuck do I get? Bob. I get this guy. It was, I forget his first name. It was Diamond. The same guy they had in the Kennedy killing when they were investigating all the guys in New Orleans. I got him for my fucking lawyer. Nice guy. And he said to me, don't worry about the money. I said, me worry? Yeah, you better worry about it. I ain't fucking worried. So anyhow, the cop comes in and he says, I think you're going to get out. I said, no shit. He said, yeah, your lawyer was talking to some fucking buddy. And I said, what about my car? It's been in storage for 6 fucking months. I said, I don't like to owe them fucking 30,000. The guy worth 300. Yeah, he said, don't worry about it. He said, I told him you're one of us. You're okay. So they're going to give you the car. I said, no shit. So I'm waiting. A few days goes by, and I don't hear nothing. Every day we're out in this big fucking room. We're playing poker or pinochle. So this morning I'm playing pinochle with the guys, and I see this kid who I didn't trust anyhow. I always kept an eye on it. I never trusted his fucking bum. I see him over to the water cooler. He's unscrewing the head. Right? He takes the head off. I know what's going on. Now, he puts it in a fucking sock. He's making a blackjack or something out of it. No, I don't know who's going to whack with this thing, so I'm watching him.
So you're just being observant. You were just watching him like out of peripheral vision and stuff.
Yeah. I didn't say nothing. Until suddenly, I see him come up. I saw his arm come up at the corner of my eye. And he wasn't looking at me. Looking at the guy across from me. So when he swung it, I put my arm up. He hits me in the fucking elbow, and I break my fucking elbow. Right? Then a big beef started. You know, my two buddies grabbed him. Everybody started to sort of fucking blackjack. Anyhow, after that shit goes out, about 3 days later, they call my name over the PA system. Pack your shit, whatever they used to say, I don't know. Your mattress, and you're getting out. So I said, I'm getting out. These fucking elbows killing me. So my friend says, Vic, don't tell me you're hurt, or they won't let you out. I said, all right. Well, don't hurt that. Right? So I get out, and they gave me a slip, discharged, right? The lawyer got me out some fucking way, I don't know. So now, I'm walking out from this fucking prison. It was a main drag, it was not. There was a cop on the street directing traffic. And I must have looked lousy, because I was in pain, right? So this fucking cop, he had enough trouble directing fucking traffic, he's got to stop me. He thought I was on drugs. I said, what the fuck? I says, officer, listen, I'm not on drugs. I said, I just got out of parish prison. He said, yeah, where's the papers? Now I can't find the fucking papers. Finally, I find them. I give the cop the papers. He says, okay. I said, where's the bus station? He's right across the street. So I go into the bus station. Fucking 15, 20 people in there. But they all look like fucking hobos. Yeah. So, I don't know what the fuck was going on. I went up to the guy and said, how much is a bus ticket to Bridgeport, Connecticut? So he tells me. So I call up my brother, and I tell him, send me the money to Western Union. So he does. In the meantime, I'm waiting for the fucking money to come, and I'm sitting down. All of a sudden, all these fucking guys get up and they're running, they're going into the bathroom, the doors, and so I stopped one kid. I said, what the fuck's going on? He said, the cops are coming on. They're coming in here. And if you ain't got a bus ticket, they take you to jail. I said, what? I just got out of jail a fucking hour ago. So naturally, I ran into one of the fucking stalls, but I didn't lock it. But I stood on the fucking toilet bowl so they can't see my feet. I didn't want to lock the door because he hits the door and it's don't open, somebody's in there. So I'm just hoping he hits the door and he looks in, he don't see nobody. And all these fucking guys are howling and screaming, ouch, well, wait a minute, I'm waiting for money. They give them all kinds of excuses, and the cops are still fucking whacking them around. So now I stay on top of that bowl for about 10 minutes. I don't hear nothing. Then I get up. I look around, I didn't see nobody. I went to the fucking Western Union. I got the money, and I got there, and I get home. Now, this lawyer I got, I'm home for about, 2 months. The day comes that I gotta go back now. So I call up this fucking lawyer, and I get him on the phone, and I said, listen, I don't want to fight this, I want to fix it. So he says to me, well, he said, listen, I'll tell you why. He says, don't come back until you hear from me. That was fucking 50 years ago. He never called, and I never went back. And I'll never step foot in New Orleans, Louisiana. The rest of my life. Who the fuck do I know? Do I ever get stopped for...
What's the statute of limitations anyway on something like that?
Oh, forget about it.
It's got to be good, right? It's
yeah.
got to be fine, right?
You got to be speedy trial. The witnesses are all fucking dead, if they had any. I was there for fucking nothing.
So all right. So now you're back in Bridgeport.
No, I'm back in Bridgeport. I got to get a fucking job. So
yeah,
I went to the Union, and that's when they sent me to New York. I went to Manhattan.
That's when you started going for the.
I went to New York every day. Right?
You joined the workers union, right?
I was in the union here in Bridgeport.
Okay.
I was in the union, Lathers Union. We were local 23, and Manhattan was local 46. So we used to go there and kid them, we're half brothers. You got to give us a fucking job. Right. So, right. So we go to New York. We got the job. That's where we all go. There's no fucking work in Bridgeport at the time. So we all got the job in New York. My brothers, my cousins, everybody went down there. And I was there fucking 20-something years. In fact, I left there in 75. That's when we finished the Twin Towers.
So it was constantly just back and forth on the metro all the time?
Well, a lot of times we could take our car right to the job. And sometimes we used to drive the car to the fucking city. Right? We were doing the Seagram's building. The Seagram's whiskey, whatever the fuck you call it.
Yeah.
We were doing that building at the time.
Something's happening.
Yeah.
They're coming up with some kind of story.
So I was taking my car. Right? I used to park in front of the fucking job. I don't know if it was on Park Avenue, Madison Avenue, where the fuck it was. Anyhow, after work, we used to get through at 3:30. I go back to my car, see a fucking ticket on the car. Parking ticket, naturally. Right? So I say to myself, what the fuck is parking ticket? I stay here fucking 30 days, I'll have to give him the car. So what happens, I take the ticket, come home, go back the next day, go to work, and I put the ticket on the windshield. Figured I'll escape, right? I come out of work that fucking night, now I got 2 tickets on the fucking car. So, I'm motherfucking up. Now I see this big Irish cop walking up to me. Nice guy. So he says, how many tickets you want to get? I said, well, you gave me the one last night. He said, yeah. I said, what the fuck is wrong with you? You want to give me one today, too? So I get into a conversation with him, nice guy. I gave him a $20 bill. He took it, took the fucking thing. He said, don't worry about it. Right? So one morning we're driving down, we're coming down the West Side Highway, because the job was on the west side of town. And this cop stops for speeding. I'm driving. Goes over to the car and, gives me a big fucking speech about how much it's going to cost. You got to come back here from Connecticut. So I said, well, officer, what's it going to cost? He said, $60. I said, I'll give you fucking 30. That's just what I told him. He took the 30. And he says to me, you better watch out and slow down because the guy further down here, what are you going to fucking call him and tell him to wait for me? That's how New York was. It still is.
It's like, yeah, obviously, like, growing up in Florida, the cops there just seem to be like big redneck hillbillies, and they never want to give you I feel like that's how people get in trouble so much down there, because they just want to always go to arrest you for something stupid,
Yeah.
Whereas here, living up here for the last 3 years, totally changed my outlook on police officers and stuff. I love cops up here. I don't feel negative about them, really. I really don't.
No, I never did.
They're great. They really are. They're usually normal, everyday people, and they're good, and they'll listen to reason, and they won't be like dickheads or anything like that.
No, they're good down there.
They really are. What else? Another jail story. really quick.
Go ahead.
You know, I remember there was another story about time away. Can you tell me about the time you said you knew it was the law knocking at your door?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
That's flashing forward a little bit. I know we're going forward a little bit.
Yeah.
This wasn't that long ago. This was during my lifetime. This is when I guess like
it's in the 70s or 80s. 80s.
it was in the 80s.
Yeah, it was in the 80s. I come home from the club one morning, 3-4 o'clock in the morning.
This is in Bridgeport.
In Bridgeport. And I had just put a new addition on my house. And it was finished. And one of the wise guys wanted one of the apartments. So I rented it to him. Right? So now, 4 or 5 months, no, a year before this, I'm down at the club and the guy says, "It's Frankie Pick. You wanna earn $200?" I said, "Yeah. Who I gotta come?" So he said, "No. Why don't you go to New York and pick up the football slips?" So naturally, I said, "Why?" This guy Junior used to do it. Did it all his life. I said, "What happened with Junior?" He said, "I had to go to court today." I said, "Yeah, all right."
And then, so for people that don't know, right, the slips and stuff. This is the numbers racket, right? This is running numbers, right?
No, football.
This is not numbers.
No, it ain't numbers. Football.
Okay.
You pick someone in winners.
So numbers is like the lottery, right?
Yeah.
That's just like you're picking like 3. How many numbers are in numbers?
3.
Father? 3?
That's all it was then. 3.
Do they still do it now? Or like,
the fucking state took it over.
yeah,
They fucking locked up all my friends for doing the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but before there was no lottery like run by the state and stuff like that. This was all done, you know.
Fucking guys did it.
Yeah.
They used to put the number in the paper every day.
How would they pick it? How would they pick the number?
The first, 5th, and 8th race, I think it was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, first, 5th, and
So
8th
it's all
race.
random. Yeah.
Yeah. So
that was different, huh?
It was fun.
Did you play the numbers a lot?
No, never did.
Okay, so like getting back to this, you're going down. They want you to pick up a bunch of football stuff.
Yeah, so I drive down to Yonkers, New York. Because I hear there it was legal. I may be wrong. I thought this guy said it was legal in New York. And the way these guys I met acted, it looked like it was legal.
Maybe they're just telling you that so that you wouldn't.
Oh, I didn't give a fuck anyhow. Legal, illegal. I went. The cash is there, I'm going. Right, so. I get there, I meet these guys. They open up the trunk. I wasn't expecting that fucking many. They have boxes. Boxes of football stuff. So I took them. I go back to Bridgeport with them. I stopped down the club. And they're telling me where to bring them and how many to give. Right? Now this friend of mine is writing out a list. I said, wait a minute. I said, "John, I don't want no fucking list. I get stopped and I got that fucking list, my ass is gone." All right. So he told me what I do, how many, I remembered it. I'm driving down 95 going to the Haven. And actually I'm looking around in the mirror and I see this fucking car. He's going to follow me forever. Right? Now I'm supposed to meet this guy at Long Wharf exit in New Haven. It's right by the water. I'm watching this guy watch this guy. I said, this cocksucker's following. So I bypassed Long Wharf, and this guy still following me. So I took the next one, and he followed me, got back on, and he followed. This guy gotta be a fucking cop. Now, in the meantime, this fucking asshole was supposed to give the tickets to at Long Wharf. He thinks I didn't see him. So he gets out. The cop's following me. He's following the fucking cop. And I'm saying to myself, this fucking guy, is he a fucking asshole? So we're driving around trying to find 95 again. I got lost in the Haven. So I come to a light. I'm so fucking aggravated. I put the car in park. I get out of the car. I walk by the cop and go to the other car. And I said, "You stupid fuck, you don't see there's a fucking cop following me?" He's following me for 4 miles, this asshole. Before I didn't know how to get there. So I get back on 95. I'm coming back to Bridgeport. I didn't go a mile on 95. 4 fucking state police cars. In front of me, and back of me, and the side of me. When I'm driving, And one of the cops passes on the driver's side, and he puts a sign in the window, "State Police," right? So I went like this to make him think he had the sign upside down. So now he turns the sign. No, it is upside down. Anyhow, they pulled me over. Okay. I took one slip out when I first picked them up for myself, put it in my pocket. But it wasn't marked. As long as it ain't marked, you can't get in trouble. So I didn't mark it. All these state cops opened the trunk, the footballs. Oh, we got here football slips. Not too many. How many you got? Not too many. 70,000. That's what I had in the fucking trunk.
Wow.
70,000 football slips. So now the cop says to me, "Where's the slip?" I said, "What slip?" I know what slip he's talking about. That's why I didn't take them. He said, "Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. The slip where you're supposed to drop these things off." I said, "Pal, I got no fucking slip." So he hits my glove compartment, and the fucking door opens, and he reaches in, and he comes out with a slip. He says, "This fucking slip." So he's looking at it, so I grabbed it. He said, "Oh, lunch meat, bread, oil." I said, "Oh, that fucking slip." I said, "You had to go shopping." Right? So now, they take all them slips out of the car, and this fucking cop sees one in my shirt pocket. He pulls it out. He said, "Well, what's this?" I said, "Another fucking slip. What's this?" Making a big deal out of it. They take me to the state police barracks, and I want to call them to bail me out, but I can't call direct to them because I know these fucking phones are tapped. You know, they'll find a one call. So I called up my kid and I told him what happened, where I was. I said, "Call up so and so. You know how to call. Tell them to fucking bail me out of there." And I'm in the fucking police station, and I'm watching TV, and the 6 o'clock news comes out. Oh, Pop's my fucking kisser on fucking TV. I said, "Oh my God."
They had video?
Yeah, they had a picture of me.
Oh, man.
I said, "Oh my God." My wife sees it, she'll have a fucking heart attack. Because my wife, she still thought a trip around the world was a fucking vacation. So anyhow, they finally come. 3 fucking hours it took them. They come and get me. I got out. So I go home now. I had to go to court like 2 or 3 weeks later for the football slips. So the guy I worked for at the time, he had to pay the lawyer. He had to give me the money that I wasn't paying the fucking lawyer. So he gave me $1,500.
The guy you worked for?
Yeah. One of the wise, I didn't work for him, but one of the wise guys that ran that club I used to go to.
Okay.
Right? He gave me $1,500. I went to court that day to pay the attorney. Right? So I go to court, and I don't even know who the fuck my attorney is. And finally, when he came, I knew him, because he knew me. And I hated this fucking asshole. What to myself, I'm thinking, this fucking John nuts or what? So we go into court and paid a fine. He got it thrown out. Now instead of me giving the guy $1,500, I give him $7. Fuck you. You ain't worth $1,500. So now I go back home and with the other $700-800. I'm shooting crap. The crap game's going. I'm shooting crap. The next fucking day, I'm down at the club, and John is there, and he motions for me to come over to him. Says, "What's the matter, John?" He said, "How much money do you give that fucking lawyer?" So I started laughing. I said, "Fuck him. He was only worth $700. He said, "Where's the other $8? I blew it last night in the crap game." So that was the end of that.
Oh my God.
That was the end of that.
What was the end of what?
Of that. Football slips.
That was the end of that?
Yeah, they wanted the money, took a fine, that was it.
They didn't care about the other 800?
Well, the guy who worked for?
Yeah.
No, he didn't give a fuck.
He didn't care that you screwed over the
He's
lawyer?
the guy. He's the one I rented my apartment to.
Right.
He took the apartment, this guy, because I was a good friend with him.
Okay.
We didn't give a fuck. He was going to lose it to the lawyer anyhow. So what's the difference?
Either way,
he wasn't getting it back. Right, so now, about year or two goes by. I come home from the game, I don't know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. I just get in bed. I heard this knock on the fucking door. So I wake up and I listen again, and they banged again. So I told my wife, I said, stay in bed, because that's the law. How do you know it's the law? Take my fucking word for it. It is the law. So I walked to the door just in my skivvies. I had no clothes on. I opened the fucking door. There's one guy. They always come in pairs, the FBI, right? This was fucking funny. I opened the door, and there's one guy standing there. He's got a warrant for my arrest. So I got a warrant for your arrest, Frank. I said, for what? He said, football slips. I said, I went to court for that 2 years ago. Ain't that double jeopardy? He said, no. They made a federal offense. Transporting gambling material across the state line. That's the bullshit he gave me. It's the same fucking charge, right?
yeah.
Anyhow, after he says that, I knew there was 2 guys. I looked out the door, and there was another fucking FBI agent there. I said, well, you got something to say about this fucking thing, too? So now they arrest me, right? What I don't know, there's about 6 guys, right? Now, my next door neighbor told me a few weeks after this, his wife saw all these cops' cars and had their fucking guns out, right? So she said to my neighbor, she says, Joe, those guys are going to Frank's house. They all got guns. They didn't cheat, you know. They were feds. So anyhow, they handcuffed me, and I walk outside, and my kid Mark lived on the first floor, and John lived on the second floor. So my wife must have called my kid. My kid come running around the door, and he looked like fucking Man Mountain Dean. That's how big this kid is. So the cop pointed a gun at him. So I said, hey, pal, that's my son. He got nothing to fucking do with this. His mother probably called him. She's all worked up. She's sick. He wants to go to see what his mother needs. So the guy let him go. The guy's looking upstairs, right? Now he's got me in front. He's in back. Got the gun in my fucking back, right? And he kept going closer and closer to John's fucking staircase. So finally I pulled away. I said, listen, pal, you got the fucking bulletproof vest on, not me. You get in the fucking front. No, I'm looking up. I see John peek out the window. I was saying to myself, John, please, walk out nice and fucking slow. Because these guys are all fucking shaking. Must be 6 guns pointing to the fucking window upstairs. So anyhow, John comes out and they handcuff him. And they take us all downtown to the federal building. And the cop picks me out. And I go into interrogation room with him. It took us all, one at a time, interrogation room. Right. So the cop says to me, who do you work for? So I says, I work for Foolish Construction.
For Foolish?
Construction. That's my boss. What? I wasn't going to say, John, who do you work for? Foolish Construction Company. I said, see these fucking hands? They had nothing but calluses at the time. I said, what do you think I do? He said, well, what does he do? I asked him what the fuck he does. What do you want from me? They'll keep asking me questions. They wanted me to say shit. They wanted me to say shit that would hurt these guys, right? Which I wasn't. So Friday I says to the feds, I said, listen, get me the fuck out of this room before they think I'm a stool pigeon. You want to know something for him? Ask him. So after all that was over, they take us downstairs. They got us all in a lockup. And I got to take a piss so fucking bad. I couldn't hold him no more, right? So I ran on the fucking cell, and I got the FBI's attention. I said, listen, I gotta take a piss. So instead of snotty motherfuckers said, oh, I got the picture of pants, I gotta wait. I said, is that right? I went up against the fucking bars, put my zipper down. Wait, he said that. I'll take it. I just pissed right on the floor, fuck him. But he took me to the men's room. Right? So now we all had to go and see a probation officer, or whatever the fuck you call him. I had to go to New Haven. That's where the main federal building was, not Bridgeport. It's in New Haven. I had to go see this guy. I'm going there, I don't know how many months before we came to trial. Every time I go there, he breaks my balls, naturally. That's what his job is for. So he's telling me, you know what they do with that money from the football slips? I says, listen, I don't give a fuck what they do with it. Prostitution, drugs. I said, listen, pal, I bet fucking football. I said, the fucking judge bets football. He said, don't say that to the judge. I said, I won't. So after that meeting, fucking come out, and this happened 100 fucking times, same bullshit. So the last time I go, this fucking guy, he says to me, let me ask you a question. I said, what? He says, do you think you're going to jail? And I laughed at him. I said, am I going to jail? I said, what, you going to put a good word in for me? Who the fuck are you kidding? That was the end of that. Right. So now 3 or 4 months later, guys are getting called to go to court. And you had the toughest judge in this fucking state, that Bree Burns, a woman. She was tough, but she was fair, I gotta say that. Right. I'm down with one of my friends' place, and one of the guys comes in. He didn't get arrested, but he knew everybody that did. So he says, I was in court today. He says, a few of them got sent away. I said, who went? So he told me a couple of guys, and they told me this woman went. I know her, one of my friend's wife. She used to book numbers. I said, what? He said, yeah, she got 9 months up in Danbury prison. I said, fucking bro's 69 years old. She sent her to fucking jail. That was his Bree Burns.
Wow.
She was tough, yeah, tough fucking judge. So anyhow, another 3, 4 weeks goes by, and I was down with my friends. He owned a little hamburger joint. I'm down there having coffee. And I told him, no, it was my turn to go. So I got to go to court this morning. He said, well, come back, let me know. I can meet up. And all right. So I go there. Uncle Mark came with me, Uncle Ricky. I got a public defender, a federal attorney. Good fucking lawyer.
Really?
Good.
Because they're usually horrible.
Oh, they usually tell you next.
Right.
Yeah, like
this guy was actually going to work?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this fucking guy was great. Let me tell you the story. This fucking guy. I forgot the prosecutor at the time. He was a motherfucker and a half. My attorney says to me, Bull Durham used to call him, Bull Durham. He said, Bull Durham wants to talk to you. I said, listen, go tell that cocksucker I don't want to talk to him. I ain't telling him fucking nothing. Right? So, all right. So my attorney goes over and talks to this fucking guy. Now, we're all facing 5 years at the time for this bullshit charge. 5 fucking years. So my lawyer comes back and he says, no, he don't want to question you. He just wanted you to know that he didn't put in any recommendation. I couldn't believe it. No recommendation. What you want me to do, blow him? What the fuck? This guy will send his mother to fucking prison. So anyhow, I go in, and the judge is just at the desk, and she ain't doing nothing. So she says to the attorney, well, you have anything to say, counselor? And she's still writing whatever the fuck she's doing. And my lawyer, he almost had me crying. What the fucking speech he gave? So I looked at her. She ain't even looking up at him. So I gave him the elbow. I said, listen, save your breath. She ain't even fucking listening. So she finally said, are you a true consular? Yeah, yes, Your Honor. Then she comes to me. You have anything to say for yourself, Mr. Piccirillo? I said, yeah, well, yeah. I'm sorry I did it now. So she ain't saying nothing. She looked down at her desk and, oh, the lawyer says something else. I forgot what he told her. So she looks up and she said, well, I'm sure Mr. Piccirillo is a good father and all that, but they didn't pick his name out of a hat. Well, I knew I was going when she said that. And now I'm waiting for the fucking number. How long am I going to go away for? Who got 5 years? Who got 8 years? What the fuck? Well, she gives me 6 months. I felt like I got sent home. 6 months. I go out. Where do I go? I go outside and we're ready to go home. And the lawyer's apologizing to me. That's how bad he felt. He said, "Jesus, Frank, I'm sorry. You know, I thought you'd go home." I said, "There's no worry about it." So I went in my pocket and I gave him $100 bill. I said, "Here, take your wife out for lunch." He felt bad. I was tickled pink. 6 months? What the fuck? Everybody's getting 5 years, 8 years. That was the end of that. We went to, I didn't feel where the fuck they sent me, Pennsylvania someplace.
How was it when you were in prison and stuff? Was it kind of like the freaking movies, like Goodfellas and stuff?
No. Well,
it wasn't. You know, like when you in the
no, forget about bribing anybody. No.
In that famous scene, like everybody's just hanging out and they're just like living and they're cooking like regular meals.
No, that happened then maybe, but it didn't happen where I was.
When I was like 10 years old, I specifically remember seeing Goodfellas at the theaters, and I memorized like nearly every line of that movie. And Scorsese was my hero. Many of those characters were real people, right? I believe it was based on a true story.
It was a true story.
Didn't you know Henry Hill?
No. I knew the character that Robert De Niro played and the character that Joe Pesci.
You did? You knew Tommy and Jimmy the Gent of them, or like just met them like just...
Oh, I met him. I did their company, but I ain't like I was a good friend with him.
No.
I just knew him. If we went to see him, I stayed on the side. They talk what they want to talk about, and we leave.
Those people were crazy.
They were bad. I didn't know they were that fucking bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Until my friends in Brooklyn were telling me. They took these fucking guys home, they chopped them up, put them in a fucking machine.
Wow.
Sick motherfuckers, I'll tell you.
So you were more like just like gambling and stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
Like little stuff, not nothing like crazy.
No. I chose to go to work every fucking day. And all my friends chose not to. So what do you want from me?
Yeah.
But they're still my friends, you know.
So what about gambling? So you like craps, right? That's like your game of choice, right?
That's my game. Yeah.
I know you're mentioning pinochle.
Yeah.
I
love that.
A lot of people don't even know what pinochle is, really. Like a lot of people play poker and stuff, but nobody really plays pinochle.
Well, if they're Italian, they know what it is.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
is that like a primarily like Italian game and stuff?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
What the hell are the rules of pinochle exactly? Like,
pinochle deck starts with a 9.
Okay.
9, 10, Jack, Queen, King. Ace. You get 12 cards apiece, and whoever takes the bid calls a trump, which is usually the longest suit. They got more hearts, or more clubs, or more spades. They'll make that trump.
Mm-hmm. Getting back to craps, which is your game of choice.
Yeah.
You've told me so many stories about this.
No, there's a million stories, and they're all funny.
They are all funny. Can we remember one crap story? What's the best crap story you got? Because I know like doesn't these guys usually like come and like get you like almost like they had you play for them, everybody would give you money and stuff, and you would do all the betting and then you'd split it, right?
Yeah. Plus, I mean, they were more or less partners with me.
Yeah.
There's certain people.
Because I remember when we went to Vegas, right?
Right.
You were the only one who were winning. We kept on giving you money, and you kept on making.
I did the same thing here.
Yeah.
I mean, guys that know how to win, you're gonna let them play for you. I know guys that should have made fucking $30 million.
But it's all like chance, though. It's somebody throwing a dice. You never know.
Of course, that's the game.
Papa, I remember you saying when you were winning at the crap table in Vegas, I got a telegraph from the universe. That was an awesome line.
If you get a hunch, bet a bunch. That's the rules.
If you get a hunch, you bet a bunch.
Bet a bunch.
Nice.
So, but there were 7 different crap games in this town. 7.
In some kind of club or whatever. So.
Yeah. You all had pool tables where you shot crap on. Like I say, we had 2 or 3 different outfits there. Gambinos,
whole bunch of whatever.
yeah, they had them all there. But I went to all the crap. Everybody went to all the crap. The fucking crap games.
So it didn't matter if you belonged to a different
No,
club?
I didn't belong to fucking nobody.
You didn't?
No. They were happy to have you come to the crap game.
So, wait a second. So, you didn't really belong to any...
No.
You just were friends with them and stuff?
Friends. I could have been a fucking wise guy if I wanted to. But I didn't choose that.
Right.
You know, I couldn't do that shit. I did a couple of small bullshit things because my friends asked me to, and I couldn't refuse them. Now, the best crap game they had upstate here in Old Saybrook, Connecticut, which is a money town. And they had it at the boat club. Right? That's where word goes around. Well, I went there. It's the only place I could say was close to New York. They have plush rugs, chandeliers, bras all over the fucking joint. Really, really nice place. But it was the Old Saybrook Boat Club they had it on. Okay? So I had a couple of friends because a few guys from Bridgeport would go there. And the New Haven crew ran this game. But they had a few guys from Bridgeport work for them. Like one guy was good at the crap table, another guy was good at the blackjack table, so they were working there. So I had a few friends. After I was there a couple of nights, I used to go to the blackjack table every night because my friend was dealing. And he'd keep pulling till he fucking busted. So every hand you won. Right? The only bad thing about it was he kept calling for chips. You know, because we fucking emptied them out. So after he called for the first one, I said, listen, we better slow down. Let's have a drink or a few cigarettes to throw some fucking bullshit war stories. We don't want to call them back and forth too often. But that's what happened. He called for so many fucking chips, they got suspicious. So this woman comes by who's the wife of one of my good friends. And he was running the crap tables for this crew. She comes by and she picks up, we're robbing this fucking kid. Well, she don't know he's in on it, right? So now she starts making a fucking scene. I said, oh my God, I'm gonna get fucking killed tonight. So I'm looking around. Here comes her husband walking, my friend. So I'm waving. Comes over here. And I'm saying, listen, you tell your wife to slow down. So he said, listen, he says, quiet down. He says, these guys are friends of mine. Ain't nothing going on. Yeah, something's going on. They're past posting to me. Anyhow, she quieted down. He said, what happened? So I told him what happened. I ain't going to lie to him. I took Uncle Billy with me that night. And now she we're robbing a guy, but he don't know it. He thinks he's winning. Yeah, he's fucking smart. He's winning. So I says, Bill, come on, we gotta go. He said, no, Dad. He says, now what are we gonna? I says, get the fuck up before we get killed. We gotta go. Right. So I finally told him what the deal was. But the other deal was, whatever I won, I cashed in and I gave this kid half. And we were chopping it up. So I go back the next night.
What?
Oh, yeah. Well, I didn't get
that was a close call.
I didn't get close calls don't count. I go back to the next night now. I go to the crap table. I leave my kid home. He go, oh, we got his fucking boat killed. So I'm at the crap table. I'm fucking robbing them because those guys didn't know fucking nothing for nothing. You know? I was pushing my bets from pass to no pass to come, don't come. I wait to see. If the guy 7th out, I put it on don't pass. If you made the number, I put it on pass. Anyhow, I won about $8,000. Right? Now, they only got a $25 maximum. That's right, you get back $25. The most, right? So I get through, I'm asking the kid right on the table, where can I cash these chips in? So he's pointing to some guy. So I knew he was from New Haven. I know. So I go over and I said, listen, I want to cash these chips in. Well, he went fucking berserk. He says to me, how did you win all this fucking money with a $25 limit? I said, listen, you think I robbed the fucking guys? So now again, my friend is coming by, this woman's husband. And he was at the table. But he ain't gonna say no, you don't give a fuck, right? So he sees us arguing with this guy. He says, the guy said, listen, well, what's the problem? He said, look at the fucking money this fucking kid wanted. A $25 limit. So my friend said, listen, the kid won it. So I know him. He's an honorable kid. So we're airing that out. So the guy said, well, we ain't got that kind of money here. He says, you got to come back tomorrow. I said, okay. So I walked outside, walked to my car, and I'm saying to myself, I got to come back tomorrow. They're going to throw me into the fucking fish.
Wow.
Right? So I go home in Bridgeport to one of the clubs. I see another friend of mine. And I told him what happened. He laughs, this fucking guy. He says, hey, Frankie Pickles. I said, what the fuck? I can put it in the paper. Yeah, I don't want nobody else going to say nothing. So I told him, I said, Vinny, listen, I want you to come back tomorrow. I'll give you half. He says, Pick, I can't come back. He says, I got to go to New York tomorrow. He says, tell me with me. I already told him I was with you. And I did, right? Anyhow, he can't go. All this fucking money. But, you know, my fucking balls were bigger than my brains. So I went there the next morning. I see this guy on a nice boat. I walked up and the guy's waving me. So I walk in there and there was like 3 or 4 guys on the boat. So this guy from New Haven says to one of the guys, see if Frankie Pickles money's in there. So the guy's looking, and I'm saying to myself, come on, you motherfucker, find it. He says, easy. He says, no. He said, it's probably downstairs.
Oh, God.
That's what I said. Oh, God. So he says, come on downstairs. He says, Pick, we'll look down there. So he goes down first. I'm in the fucking middle. Another guy's behind me. As I'm walking down the stairs, I'm looking for something to grab, start whacking these fucking guys if something happens. So he says to the guy, go check that there, see if Frankie Pickles money's there. Anyhow, it was. Comes up, he gives me the envelope. So the guy from Haven says, you're going to count it? I said, am I going to count it? Did you count it? He said, yeah, that's good enough for me. I want to get off this fucking boat. Right? So I get in the car and I was happy as a motherfucker. I couldn't believe it. I escaped. Right? I get back home and it was early in the morning, so I had to go home. Fucking joints. The guys that were there then were still playing fucking pinball. Right? So I go home, I got all this fucking money on me. I'm hiding it here, hiding it there, hiding it there, and I'm in a chair and I'm starting to doze off. And I hear Grandma put the fucking vacuum cleaner on. That woke me up. I sat up and I'm looking to see where the fuck she's vacuuming. I don't want her to pick the fucking money up. So now I go back down to the club that night and I bought half to give to this guy, but he wouldn't take it. So I got like 4,000 on me. So the game starts up and I get in. I win another 8,000 or 9,000.
I gotta say, this is fucking nuts, man. I cannot believe that you did this. That you talk about like bigger balls than your brains.
Yeah.
That, you're going into the lion's mouth again, you know, and you're gonna go do.
Listen, if you don't get caught, nobody knows nothing. I think what the fuck, I can take a beating if worse comes to worse. just don't take the cat. So now I break the fucking game. I go in the back room, I'm putting all the money together, 50s, 100s, to 20s, and I'm fucking weighted enough. So much fucking money. I got a lot of money. So one guy after another comes in. He says, Pick, let me borrow $3,000. I gave him $3,000. Another guy, let me have a Gino. I gave him a Gino. Anyhow, they wiped me out. I was glad. I gave all the fucking money away. Now I can't lose it. Right? And it's all tomorrow. I'll see him tomorrow night, and they'll give me the money. This one guy owned a car lot. Right? So I go back the next night, and they're all there, and they all give me the fucking packages. And this guy, Skippy, owned the car lot. He says to me, he says, Pick, why don't you come down to my place tomorrow and pick out a Cadillac? You know how many fucking Cadillacs I took from that guy? Instead of paying me, I said, go and get a fucking car.
Oh, man.
Good old days, I tell you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's like that guy turned up those $100 bills that fucking night. My God.
Wait, what happened with that?
I went to one of the crap games this night, and games going full blast. So my friend Vinny comes in, he says, Frankie Pick, come on, I want to talk with you. I said, all right. We walk into the men's room. We get into the men's room, and I see this fucking guy, Frankie, tearing up $100 bills and flushing them down the fucking toilet. I said, Frank, what the fuck are you doing? He says to me, they ain't getting no more of my fucking money. Well, then give it to me. What the fuck? You throwing it down the toilet? Yeah.
Wow.
Fucking locked out.
You know, you have a God, this is such an interesting life. Like, how do you remember all these stories? You have so many, and you're always...
Well, how could you forget some stuff that happens to you?
Yeah.
And fortunately for me, it was all funny shit.
You remember it in great detail.
It's like it just happened yesterday. You kidding me?
I remember my father said to me once that one of his memories was coming home to find a truckload of coffee parked outside of the house.
Oh, Jesus.
You never told me this like story. Or anything like that, so you can stop. You don't have to talk about it if you don't want to.
There's a lot of shit I never told you. Yeah, but, coffee something up.
They were unloading it in the basement and stuff like that, or whatever.
Yeah, this guy.
Where did that happen at? Did that happen on Wayne Street?
Wayne Street, yeah. Uncle Mark met this girl. He was a teenager. He was playing football in high school. So they happened to live up in Manchester, Connecticut, which might be an hour from here. So one day I go up there. Me, Grandma, Mark, because he wanted to see his girlfriend for some. So I met her mother and father. Nice people. Now her father worked in an A&P up there. So after 4, 5, 6 trips, I got friendly with the guy and I clocked him. He was a nice guy, stand-up guy. So about 2 weeks before Christmas, he calls me up. And he says, Frank, you want to get some coffee? Now at this time, coffee went from $1 a pound to $3 a pound. Why, I don't know. But that's it was expensive. I said, coffee? I said, what the fuck am I doing with coffee? He said, oh, no. So why don't you come up and we'll talk about it? I said, all right. So I went up there the next morning. And he's telling me he works in this fucking place. He drives a tow motor. And his fucking skids and skids of coffee to the fucking ceiling. So he says, he ain't got no alarm. And I said, listen, I ain't a fucking thief. I can't do this shit. I said, if I'm inside that fucking place and I hear a police siren, I'll shit my pants. I don't care if it's 10 miles away. I said, I can't do this. And I go home. Now, at the time, I'm fucking broke and hungry. You know what I say? Desperation makes desperados? Well, that's the fucking truth. Now I'm thinking about it. I said, Jesus Christ. And while I'm thinking about it, he calls me. So he says, I'll tell you what, Frank. He said, it's so fucking easy. I'll go in with you. So that sold me. I'll go. He was going to go, I'll go. Right, so now, this is about 11, 12 o'clock at night. I went to some of my other friends' house, woke them up, and I says, Billy, I told him the story. I said, we got to rent a truck, but I want a phony ID. I ain't going to put my fucking name on it. Yeah, don't worry about it. I'll put it in my fucking name. I said, are you sure? I told him what we're going to do. We're going to go rob somebody. So he said, don't worry about it. Anyhow, we go down. He signs for the fucking U-Haul. And we drive it up to Manchester. We go get this other guy, and he gets in the truck with us. We drive to the place. It's got one of those overhead doors that wasn't locked. The fucking door wasn't even locked. Right? He opens up the fucking door. He said, come on, drive the truck in. So we drive the truck in, and he closes the door behind us. And he gets into his fucking, what do you call it, to lift all the fucking coffee up. The tow motor. Well, I'm looking. I got to tell you, I was fucking scared. I wanted to fucking leave. I didn't want to go there. Then I wanted to leave. But I needed the fucking money. I turn around, this fucking friend of mine that I rented the truck, he's going shopping. He's got cans of tomatoes. I said, Bill, what the fuck are you doing? Where you coming to go shopping? Yeah, look at this olive oil. Get the fuck over here. So we finally get the truck loaded. I hear a fucking siren, police siren, and I froze. So the kid who works here said, they ain't coming for us. You think if they knew we were here, they'd have been here by now. I said, well, that makes sense. Anyhow, we get out with a load of coffee, and I'm driving home. I'm 95. If I look in my mirror, there's a fucking state police cop with the lights going and the fucking siren going. I said, oh, Jesus Christ. All I can see is me going to fucking jail, my wife jumping off the fucking window. So Billy says, well, don't worry about it. Billy says, don't worry about it. He says, just pull over, see what you want. So I pull over. The fucking cop goes by me. He's chasing somebody else. Oh, my God. I couldn't fucking believe that. And we get back to Bridgeport, and I had made a deal with a couple of guys for $1 a pound. Like, how many pounds you got? 60 fucking thousand. That's how many pounds we had. Oh, Christ. So I made a few stops.
So 60,000?
60,000 pounds.
And that times 3, right? Wasn't it $3 a pound or something?
Yeah, but I sold for $1 a pound. So I sold what I could sell, and some guy's supposed to take a
What, you
lot.
sell like right outside the truck or something like that? Like,
Yeah. Well, I went to the guy's place that wanted to buy it. 2 guys had stores. So I drove on the back to their store, and they put it in the fucking store. But one guy backed out. He wanted even half $1 a pound. I said, go fuck yourself. I'm going to throw it in a fucking river. I'll go rob and give it to you. Go get a fucking job. Fucking guys. Right. So now, while I'm arguing with this guy, some other friend of mine comes out of the crap game. He said, Pick, what's going on? You heard me arguing with this guy. So I told him. He said, listen, let me make a phone call. He said, I got a friend of mine that has a distributorship for food. Let me give him a call. How much you got left? I got about 40,000 pounds. All right, wait. So he goes back in. He comes back out, and they want it. Oh, shit. I forget where they were. They were upstate someplace. I forget where. So I get in the truck, me and this other kid, Billy, that rode with me, and he's saying, I told him they want to take it off, 40,000 pounds. So he says to me, he's got a fucking gun in his mouth. He said, let's rob him. I said, didn't I tell you leave the fucking guns home? We rob him. You fucking stupid or what? We ain't robbing nobody. And make sure when we get to that fucking gun don't come out, we'll get killed. You think he's going to be by himself with $40,000 cash? He'll have a lot of help there. Don't worry about it. But now we get there, and 2 nice Italian guys. They're 2 brothers. They said, well, how much you got to give? I said, I got to get $1 a pound. He said, all right. How much you got? So I told him, I said, I got about 40,000. So I had his guys empty the truck, and they were counting, you know. So he says, all right. So he comes down with the 40,000 cash. And we drive out. And this fucking friend of mine said, holy Christ, 40,000 cash. I wonder how much he had in the safe. Forget the fucking safe. How much they had in the safe. Where you go?
wow.
Fucking moron or what? And yeah, we get home, and
And by the way, this is all allegedly, and this is all performance art piece.
Oh, yeah, this is
all of this is just a performance art piece. We're just having fun here, talking.
Yeah, we're just having fun.
We're making jokes and stuff like that. This is all fiction. This is all fiction. This whole thing's been fiction.
The way it sounds, it's got to be fiction. So I go home, I back up the truck in my driveway. This was before I got a hold of the guys to unload it. I backed up the truck. Grandma comes out and puts the fucking porch light on because she sees the truck. And she said, "What do you got in the truck?" "Just close the fucking door and don't worry about the truck. Get in the fucking house." She was a little fucking thick-headed too. She finally went back in the house. Then we got in the truck and we made all these stops. So the next day, which was Christmas Eve, I got $66,000 fucking dollars. American.
Wow.
In my fucking account. Yeah.
What the hell?
I'm telling you. And let me tell you about, I was in a gang of fucking trouble. So I called up this guy, Cleve was his name. I called up Cleve. And,
that's a fake name.
Yeah, it's a fake name. His real name was...
No. Stop talking about it.
Yeah.
All these have been fake names. Every name uttered here.
Yeah, you're right. They won't make believes. So I called him up and told him what happened. And we sold up. He said, "Oh, good." I said, "Get in the car and I'll be coming up your house." So I went up there, and him and his wife were in the kitchen. And they just made coffee. So she poured me a cup of coffee. I reached in this fucking pocket, took out a package, another pocket, took out another package, another package. And his wife was saying, "Wow, Merry Christmas." I said, "I guess so." So now, about 2 or 3 weeks later, so he calls me the next day, this guy. He says, "They didn't even miss the fucking coffee." I said, "Are you kidding me?"
Holy shit. You guys go back for seconds?
Yes, we did.
Oh my God.
How the fuck could you not?
How did they not? They didn't miss all that inventory?
Oh, they 60,000 pounds of fucking coffee. What asshole was running that joint? Anyhow, he says, "Let's go back and get more." I said, "Listen, what the fuck? We got lucky once." He said, "Well, you saw how fucking easy it was." Yeah, anyhow, we go back. Right? We load up again. I come back home. I get rid of the coffee. About 2 or 3 days later, he calls me up. He says, "You know what?" I said, "What?" He said, "They finally put a padlock on the fucking door." I said, "No shit." After they blew $100,000 in coffee, they put a lock on the fucking door. That was the end of that fucking story.
That was the end of that, huh?
That was the end of that.
You got a lot of stories.
That I do.
I guess the last one I wanted to ask you really quick was just about Frank Piccolo.
Can't go there.
All right, that's fine.
Can't go there. We can go for coffee, but we can't go there.
Well, you know what? I think this was a good interview. We got a lot of good stories out. I really appreciate you sharing stuff with me.
I enjoyed it. Just talking about the old times.
You know,
back
but because I've been interviewing all these people lately for the podcast and everything, and all these writers and everything, and you're a writer, right?
Yes, I am.
You've written a lot of stuff.
Didn't get published yet, but I'm still writing.
Yeah, I mean, you write all kinds of stuff. You write poetry.
Yeah.
You write books. Like, what's the subject matter, I mean, usually on some of these books?
Beggar Man Thief is a street story, and I wrote a love story, believe it or not, at the contrition. So
his car like breaks down or something like that, doesn't he? He meets the girl or whatever.
Her car broke down.
Her car broke down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was afraid. She was in Boulder City, and she was going to Vegas. And she says she's in the desert. I said, "Well, sweetie, let me tell you something. When you get to Vegas, you're still in the fucking desert. You ain't going no place." And her brother was a fucking cop. Well, that's another story.
Now, wait a second. Now, these are based on, like,
that happened.
Real people.
Yeah. Yeah, those stories are true. Of course.
But Beggar Man Thief, where did you get the name for that title?
Well, when I was a kid, the girls on the street used to jump rope, right? And they had that little jingle they used to sing. Butcher, baker, candlestick maker, rich man, poor man, beggar man, thief. And way back then, I knew where I belonged. Fucking Beggar Man Thief.
That's an awesome name for a book.
Yeah.
That's got to be picked up.
I hope so. I'm still punching, kid. What can I tell you?
Well, maybe because of this, somebody will hear it, and then someone will.
Yeah, I wish somebody would
make an offer you can't refuse.
Will get interested. Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna wind this down. That's the first installment of the Papa Pickles podcast, evidently. If you want him for questioning, or if you want him to sign a book deal, you can get in touch with him through me on my website, www.bobbypickles.com. And of course, as always, we offer our own brand of iconic t-shirts based on people and places of history, politics, and pop culture. We have gangster t-shirts too. Until next time, for the Bobby Pickles podcast in Bridgeport, Connecticut, I'm Bobby Pickles.